know it's Bill.
Bill Nye, science guy.
Science is
Bill,
what makes
Bill.
science is what makes man.
That's how they fight off the angel and demons.
Yeah.
They
The
scream
chant,
Bill.
Bill. He comes in a giant mech. Like, did you know about Matter Kids?
Unless you're Deadpool.
DC is Superman. Marvel is not Superman.
Unless your only weakness is an elevator.
Unless you're Deadpool. I'm not sure only.
Is that how I'm transitioning?
I think so.
Alright, Adam.
Should that be the joke of the night?
So Adam's going first and telling us his experience with the magical world of Darksiders.
Ah!
I'm
I think it
bullshit
crashed.
that is.
Super Nightmare Geese.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Apparently we can't handle carrying a conversation while this is on.
I told you.
The geese is
I'll
leashed.
shut it for a
Geese
little
is
bit.
pretty important, though.
Just hit the button for a little bit.
Just like, well, what if it's minimized? What if it's a slightly smaller screen?
That's still gonna go at
That-
it.
Turn the TV off.
Just turn the TV off. It's
With
okay.
geese.
I'm gonna
I
still
know
be
you're
looking at
addicted
your
too. That's the worst part. I'll do it for you.
You just kind of want to watch it. You just gotta know what happens next. Also, Geese is awesome.
Alright, Adam, you're first.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you were.
No.
Come on, Adam.
2 out of 10.
Gets here.
Come on, Adam.
Broken Elevator Simulator, 2 out of 10.
Can you tell us the part that led up to the elevator?
Oh, there was doors
Can you go back to like the first couple hours?
of the game.
Yeah.
I started the game.
How did you,
The
how did you,
elevator
wait,
starts-
how did you feel when you were going you were just destroying everything in your path?
And then elevator.
I think you got to the broken elevator faster than anyone, though.
Dude, he
Yeah.
beat this game in like 2 days.
Yeah.
I was gonna be done with this game in like a day.
Like when I told him I just started
It wasn't
the
a
game.
long game, but it felt like a long game because it
Because
took me all
it's
month.
heavy.
to
Well,
play.
I always play
Yeah.
games at a fast pace anyways, just because I get bored if things go too slow.
Which this game does.
Oh, yeah, it does, God. I got bored going through
There
it.
was so quickly.
Too much padding.
A
It's
lot
a
of
third-person dungeon crawl.
that-
It could have been
No,
a
no,
6-hour game and that would have been plenty. And
That
I would have been okay
Armageddon
with that.
sword part though.
I put it in, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like Ninja Gaiden, and then I get to a part where it's like, oh, this is a
Gaiden?
dumb castle that I
Gaiden.
just
So
fell in.
Gaiden.
But no, you're
That's
still
Gaiden.
hot now.
I definitely feel like it.
Had
I kind of want to play the second one on the thoughts that they fixed what was wrong
Elevators?
with the first one, like elevators.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there's only gonna be one kill animation.
I wonder if
per
that was
enemy
only with the
anyway.
PC issue, but I
No,
thought,
I
yeah,
looked it up.
That
yeah.
animation
not-
was pretty badass.
Other people have gotten stuck in different elevators that are actually salvageable.
Well, if it's anything, your failure in the elevator saved probably at least me, and I think Rob, because I started keeping
I kept
multiple save
looking out for
files.
Oh, I did too. I started back.
And every time I got in an elevator, I was like, oh shit, here we
I'm
go.
used to not needing multiple save files
I
in
am
the
too.
future of games where I assume every game should work.
I know, we're in a world where, and especially one that's been out for like 6 years, but you know, THQ, not really around anymore, so
Yeah, you
it's
should
not
call
like
them
they
and
can fix that.
Actually, he said that to
Can't
me
really
when
file
he
a
broke
complaint.
it. Yeah, he's like, I can't even call
At
him.
the beginning of the beginning of the game, you crash down to Earth and you're like, oh, I'm ready for war. And like you're wrecking shit, and then you realize there's no humans fighting either.
Yeah, it took him a while to realize that.
Yeah, no, a
I'm
while.
gonna kill everybody.
It took
There's
him.
nobody
It
to
took
kill.
you literally for 10 minutes of the game. For him, it might have been like a few hours.
Yeah.
And only angels and demons are fighting.
Yeah.
All humans on Earth are
I did like how that game opened.
dying left and right. It's like
But not only that, the whole apocalypse like happened before he even showed up. Like
Yeah,
everyone,
it was starting
everyone
early.
is eradicated. He literally shows up like, I'm here. Wait.
they're not no.
I'm just gonna kill something at least.
They're
Like-
not eradicated yet. The
There's
story
still
goes.
helicopters flying
The
around.
story
Yeah.
goes.
Oh yeah, true. I guess.
When the time is right, humans, demons, and angels will fight at the
humans
same
are gonna
time.
lose real bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
The thing is, they were hoping the humans would get their science enough to fight off the demons
Science and shit.
and angels.
Science enough.
If you haven't already seen, if you
Yeah.
haven't already seen Evangelion,
It's a
you
crossover.
wouldn't know.
I haven't seen Evangelion.
Science.
Another one. Science.
Bill Nye.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I think you can easily find like bad things in every
No,
game.
this game was
But it's also-
great. As much as I'm like saying the bad things I didn't like, but they're more memorable than
It was
good.
definitely
obviously.
solid.
6 out of 10.
No, but
We'll get to that. And don't worry, I'm gonna have everybody give. We'll all give our reviews.
Oh, are we
I
gonna
think-
put them on and like average everything?
Sure.
Like, can I just Microsoft Paint the average in that?
well,
Sure.
hold on. First of all, let's tell.
Sure.
Let's
Whatever you
tell-
want.
I know exactly what kind of gamer I am, but let's say what kind of gamer we
Japan.
all are at the same time.
Japan.
No. I'll tell you exactly which one. What kind of gamer are you? Like when you play a game, how do you play it? How do you
Quickly.
quickly? I'm a guy that doesn't like I don't try to break it, and when I first play it, at least, I don't try to break it. I don't try to like scum it. I don't try to like cheat the system.
You try to break every game we've
That's
played.
that's after I beat it. But it only took me when I played the first Borderlands. The guy told me, you know, I like you because you never really, you never haggle with me. You never bargain. You just take it for what it is the first time around, and you just pay for it. I love
think he's
stupid
supposed-
people like you. And
I
I
think
go,
he's supposed to say that.
and I go, hold on. That's exactly how I play a game when I first play it. And I'm like, Jesus, I've been dumb this entire time. And I still do it. I played Borderlands way back when. The first Borderlands. I played it way back when. And I just realized I did that. And I can't stop doing that. When I play a game the first time, I play it how you're supposed to play it.
Yeah.
Every single boss would try to brute force or like try to
That's kind of how I play
outmaneuver.
this game, I won't lie.
And I've gotten wrecked every time. Like, through the Shadow Me, when I fought the Shadow Me, he destroyed me like 4 times at least. Because whenever I attacked him, he would do his little... He'd jump in the air, do the same thing that I do with the scythe thing.
Yep.
He'd spin the scythe and
See, I
kill
didn't
me.
even use the site.
I didn't
so
have a site.
I was like 1,500 souls. No, that was free when you pre-ordered it.
You
Yeah,
just download the code. You just put the code in.
You literally can look. He gave
The
me
code is
The
all
same.
the same code for every single person.
That pissed me off. They did that with Silent Hill, and that drove me crazy.
The
Went back to
code.
back.
Well, you
the
can't
code.
actually put a code in on the computer version because there is no input code.
Ah! She
Yeah,
can
but
bomb
here
the
you
fuck
go.
out of it.
PC
Oh,
Master
probably.
Race, bro.
Didn't care.
So-
Didn't care the whole game.
One of the things I don't like about the story, I can't be too hard on because it's the same problem with like 95%
Every kind of
video
action
game
adventure
stories.
game.
Yeah, it's just so here. So as the story starts, here's the problem. You find that you have to get to whatever. In this case, it's up that tower. And you immediately off the bat find the help of
Some guy.
Samuel. And you're like, he's like, yeah, sure, I'll let you there. But so here you are in the story. You know where you need to go. You just met someone you've never
Fetch
met
quests.
before. Here are 5 or 6 completely arbitrary and random fetch quests that have nothing to do with this main story that we just told you have to do. That's your video game. And it's like, but I thought I was playing a video game about the apocalypse. It's like,
Nope.
yeah, you are. Nope. But in fact, I want you to kill a spider, a worm, I don't even remember.
And also the fact that
a bat and a...
I'm under the
Samael was
assumption
built up to be this guy that
he's
like.
supposed to be like the final
have
boss
to-
in like the
and you
4th
never
game.
find out what happens to him as
Who?
soon as...
I feel like he's supposed to be the last boss in like the 4th game.
Yeah,
Who,
like
Lord?
Samael. He was like
He's
hyped
in the
up.
2nd game too.
Yeah, he was hyped up to be this guy who's like, I'm gonna fight that guy.
Like this
he's gonna
omnipotent-
betray you.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
he's
it-
just
it
like
seemed like-
scheming in the shadows. That's
Yeah,
what it seemed
it
Samael-
like.
seemed like
Like
he was gonna be
demon
this
is
guy that
free,
was
right?
gonna betray
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I'm feeding him these hearts because he just needs my help, right? And he's like, hey, no, I'm gonna kill you. And
He's
he
like,
says,
now I'm
I
good enough to
kill
kill
you
you,
right now.
but I'm cool like that, so
I'm
I won't
like,
do it.
So we're cool. I won't, but I might.
But later,
I will.
though.
I might
Later,
kill you
though.
one day.
I don't know. I might.
That kind of
Well,
made
that's the problem. You, like, even if you're a
There's
strong
supposed to be 4
demon,
games.
you never want to go against the guy who's supposed to be the embodiment of war.
Well, that's not why he did it.
no.
He did it because
He did it because he
friends.
felt like it.
I still don't, and maybe I know I definitely missed it. Because I'm sure one of you will tell me, and Adam will come to him with a sarcastic remark. I don't get why he wanted those hearts other than to be strong.
Elevators.
Okay.
That's where his powers were sealed away in
He
their
wanted
hearts.
to be
They-
like up the
so
elevator.
Those were his powers.
You find out that those people that you thought you were killing
Guardians.
because they were guarding the tower
Were actually
weren't-
guarding
were not
his
guarding the
hearts.
tower. They were keeping him under control.
Yeah.
So by killing them, you released him.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the
But I don't
tower.
know why you
so
wanted the
back to
hearts.
my point.
The hearts
entire
are where
game that you thought
the
you were
power
spending
is.
trying to get to this tower, you meet this person and then spend an entire game.
And then
with
he's like,
concept
yeah,
doing
okay,
nothing
tower's over
for-
here. Go.
Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
guy who's attached to your arm goes, "Rip out their heart right now. I want to see them alive when you do it."
That was pretty. Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. Or at least I'm like, "Kill them right now. I
He was
want to
like,
see it."
he was like Navi, but a jerk.
Meanwhile,
Yeah. Like,
But
I
in- but
don't
in
like.
two,
I don't
it's
hate
great.
Navi.
I thought he was going to be more of a presence through the game, like talk to you in between,
I thought he was gonna be
which he
help.
does, but he
And not
like,
annoying.
yeah, he just pops up at like the and
I
he's an
feel
asshole
like-
too at the end.
Like,
He
yeah,
goes
keep
on.
going forward. Well, thanks, asshole.
I
Yeah.
feel
What is
like
it? Show him who's boss, war. Okay, great advice. Now, how do I kill him? Show him who's boss.
Like,
war.
there's segments where you sit there, he'll start yelling at you to keep going forward. Like, I don't need you to tell me that.
I thought like the way that it's,
Well, he's
it's
a high
after
school
the
coach.
select button. If you hold the select button, he shows up
doesn't
and tells you
help.
something.
But he
I
doesn't
thought
tell you
I was like,
anything
this would be
useful.
great. This
Go
like,
that way.
When you get stuck, so I'd get
Well,
really
he'll
stuck,
yell.
and then I'd hold the button down, thinking, all right, it's gonna tell me what to do, and
No.
he would just be like, you
Give him
know,
what for
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, what are you just doing here?
You help, thanks.
maybe it's because he's
Why
supposed
don't
to,
you go fight these people?
He was supposed to keep you in the dark, pretty much. You're not supposed to know whatever.
Well, I
But
wanted to know
I
which
feel
direction
like
to go.
Volgrim. Volgrim's my favorite character because I feel like he knew exactly what you were for from the beginning of the game.
He was just your merchant from Resident Evil 4. That's all he was.
No, he knew.
Wanna buy
You
something
could
stranger?
tell. You could tell. You know what? It's like I already know what path you walk on. I might as well overcharge you for everything.
That
Give
guy
you a
broke
bunch of
that
souls.
game.
Yeah, I
Like,
love
it's
that.
just like you
I
were
love
immersed
that
in that
merchant.
game until that guy showed up.
That merchant was great.
Speaking of, like, so that's one you were saying, like, what do you play games for? I like to try to find something that I can get immersed in. Like you just like the story and you're like, this is what I'm doing. I can't put it down because I need to find out what's happening next. Like I need to find out like where the story's going. At times, like for brief moments, this game had a little bit of that for me.
Yeah.
But it just fluttered out so quickly from all of the
Was it the
you know,
padding?
it was all the
That's-
padding.
Yeah.
Because I was just saying when we were meeting last month, I don't have a ton of time to play games. Like when I sit down, by the time we're done updating something, you know, my hour of video game time is now 30 minutes. If it takes 30 minutes in this game just to get through to go up an elevator, it'll give you 15 waves of enemies to
Just
fight.
30 minutes to get up the elevator. Don't ever get up the
You might
elevator.
never get to the top of the
It's
elevator.
okay. It's okay.
The elevator's
Okay, it's alright to let it
metaphorical.
out.
The elevator just goes up and it never comes back.
It's okay to let it out.
I hate that
Just a
game.
metaphor.
I feel like if you like for some reason if you load this game up in like 6 months, it's just gonna patch itself and be like, yeah, fine, whatever, elevator again, and then you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, after about how many years, they're like, you know what, we finally...
really fix
We
We should fix
the
it.
THQ is gone, but we still care about the first Dark Side.
You should fix this game.
Vigil comes back on guys like
Control Alt from my computer out the window.
Launch patch. I wonder what that did. Oh well.
I wonder-
It goes back to
This elevator.
What?
You can do that.
Very similar, not achievements, but when I got that last trophy for Darksiders, I was a little disappointed. Because you got it for beating the game.
I wouldn't know what that
I
is.
think that's my first gold trophy on
But I
PlayStation, by the way.
thought the
Really
final
good game.
boss was not the final boss because it's so easy. Like,
Yeah.
that last boss was...
Well, you spent the entire game re-tanking yourself.
Not even
Yeah,
that.
basically.
Like,
It was
I get that,
But
but I figure if I'm tanking myself, that guy's got to be pretty hard. But he was like, just distract him and sidestep and kill. Like,
That was the whole game.
but I'm saying for the
Tank
final
But
boss...
some of the bosses were good.
I was-
I think
I
they
did
were
like-
innovated. Like the
Even though
spider.
the worm was not great, that
The
was...
worm was easy though.
Yeah, but it was at
some of
least
them
an
were easy,
innovative
but they would
boss.
teach you a lot of stuff about like the way they want you to play the game. Like every time they what they did really well was they would implement like a new item or like a new thing, and then teach you how to use it. And then by the time you got to the boss, like you had to really know how to use it because it was like you were juggling like a few different things.
So then what would you say would be the doppelganger of you when you fought him?
Of who?
The doppelganger of you. You fought
Oh,
more.
oh yeah, you just
fought
mash
yourself.
You just mash square for a little
That,
while.
yeah, that wasn't
No,
even
that doesn't
hard.
always work.
Alright.
That dude did exactly what you did. If you mashed like whatever you did, he like copied it almost.
I just activated
If you
sometimes
don't
the
believe
stone
that game
square.
is Zelda clone
Square.
yet, that's the straight up fight
Oh
with
yeah,
Zelda 2.
you get
That's Zelda
Shadow,
2.
Shadow you, yeah.
Yeah, you fight, and actually the way you beat him is very similar, where you kind of hide in the corner and just stab him.
No,
That's
for
exactly
me,
how
I
you beat
tried
Zelda 2.
actually
Have you
fighting
never
him,
played it?
and whenever I
Yeah.
did like whatever
I
move
got
he
one
did,
of the
he copied
saves I
it.
downloaded to go
Or
to
if
that
I
point.
did like square to square, he
I just
like went
used
to the
the
pro.
But the combat in Darksiders was great. I think that the combat was like it was
The combat
pretty
was fun.
damn good.
See, the
But it
thing-
just got
No.
repetitive when every time you hit circle to kill a person, it'd just be the same
Right.
one. You're just gonna
Right.
like throw them
That
and they
was-
explode. Or
But it was
something,
worth
stab
it to
'em.
get a little bit of health back.
But it was
didn't
Yeah,
take
it
too
was-
long. It kind of worked out.
Well, I found a way that you didn't really have to buy new moves or upgrades or anything.
Well,
No, I
Square
don't
was
think
the
I
big
wouldn't
one.
much.
Pump all your money into the thing that regenerates your chaos meter
Yeah,
and into the stone skin,
yeah.
and only use your sword, so it'll be maxed out before you
Well,
even
no,
halfway
no.
to the game.
That site
And
did
you
a
go
lot of damage.
no,
The
it's
scythe
just-
the
I
scythe
do
is
that.
cool.
and then you
Scythe is
just
cool.
immediately just activate the stone skin, walk up to a boss, and punch it a bunch, and it's dead.
See, I didn't.
I literally
See, I did
strolled
not
through
do
that
anything
game.
like that.
I strolled through that
I
game.
definitely struggled
No
with
effort.
through the bosses.
No.
Did you?
You
Anyone
could always
else use
speed
this?
run and
I did.
skip half of it.
So
It
how?
was easy.
Well, how did they speedrun it? What did they skip?
Jesus Christ! You know, after you're in the other world and you gotta do something with this tree.
That's at the end of the game.
Yeah.
No, that's the beginning of the game.
No, the tree
You
was
let
definitely
you,
part
you
of
blow the
That's
horn,
definitely an
and
easy.
he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let
Oh,
you through
that
here,"
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
you
it's
go
not
through.
Oh,
If you
That's-
go
yeah,
up a
whatever.
wall, you dash up a wall and through there, you don't have to do that entire section. And that's how most of this game is played.
Well-
if you just can dash correctly,
I'm not gonna.
I first beat it by
so
beating
he
it,
skipped
and then
all
I
the
saw
padding
speed
parts.
run. And you could skip. I think you could
all the
skip
padding parts.
all
Where he's
the
like, you have to
padding.
go back and collect 7 bear asses for me.
You see
Go
this
through
tree?
these 6
You gotta
empty
kill it
portals,
somehow.
yeah.
The only way to kill it is to kill all the enemies around it, and then it dies. Then all the portals open.
You get that scythe power. That for me, it was R1 and triangle, where you just harpoon everything and kill you. It was really quick.
Did you get Death's Blessing? It's like a power up you get at the end of it.
Was it square, square, square?
No, it's
No,
like
Actual
no.
physical power ups,
No.
you can go around and collect them.
I'm gonna be honest. I bought a couple of moves in that game, and I do this
No
with
point.
like
I
Bayonetta,
bought
Devil May
everything.
Cry, God of War. I buy a move and I forget them. So it's like, the basic attacks were just fine. Like,
They work just, there's literally no need for them.
even in Bayonetta, I had to get 2 off. Just
Just the
similar.
grab.
I bought in at least 7 extra moves in that game.
I didn't buy any.
I just buy
Okay.
lollipops to stay alive, and Bayonetta does just fine
Yep.
being a stripper. It's fine.
Yeah,
And the kind of war was the same way. Square, square, square. The
Yeah,
whipped cream
almost.
genocide brouhaha.
It's literally just to make it look cooler.
Well, there's if you get Death's Blessing and the Scythe and you equip them both at the same time, it's basically game over because every time you kill somebody with the Scythe, it regenerates your health, and it does
It's like having regen in any game ever.
Man, this is
I
a
started
this
the
is
game
a
with
current
that.
gen
I
game.
didn't- armor.
Did you?
Yeah,
Started
because
with
they're just
the
like,
armor?
oh, she was an armor, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try this one,
Well,
and then
I
I
didn't
just kill
choose-
somebody, and all my health would come
I
back.
didn't choose an armor.
I didn't get the
Well,
pick
that was
armor.
because Dan beat it, and I just played on his PlayStation.
Well, then there
That's
you
the
go.
option,
You
yeah.
just
You played
played-
second playthrough.
So there is-
yeah.
so
You
there
played
is
New Game
incentive to
Plus
play-
and just stomped.
So there is incentive to do New Game Plus. Well,
Kind of.
Nope.
Yeah, not really.
a little bit.
What did you guys think of Mark Hamill as the Watcher? That was probably my favorite.
That's
thing.
who that was.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Mark
okay.
Hamill.
Oh, I didn't even realize it. You know, more than Mark Hamill now that you said it. Who did War's voice? Because War's voice sounds like the guy that you would parody talking about this game. I will defeat you.
Do you want to hear
Let's see.
something
Or
terrible?
something like-
I've heard his voice before.
I
in anime.
can't put his name. I believe it's in an anime because I feel like it's in things. Like I feel like the guy doing the voice is taking it too seriously.
This is gonna be a blockbuster game.
I was like, well, I don't take you seriously at all, Mr. War.
Which luckily had very few lines.
He didn't talk much, which is great. I
No,
will say
no,
that.
he's a pretty shallow character.
That was all the Watcher.
I
I
did
did
hate
the Watcher,
them.
right? That was what he was called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hate all the Voltron locations because they were really inconvenient.
Yeah, they're not placed well.
No,
When
right,
I was
yeah.
doing when I was doing the
To
Armageddon
find
quest-
any of them, you actually have to backtrack.
Yeah, to do
Yeah.
when I was doing the Armageddon sword, there were some locations I didn't unlock, so I had to travel all through.
Oh, I
the
unlocked
world.
all of that. Was stupid of you.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but the thing is, then I realized the world is not that big in that game.
No, it
at all.
just feels like everything is locked until you get another power up of some kind.
Yeah. Well, it's just
Literally,
that's
there's a
true.
hub and it just branches outwards in all directions.
Kinda,
That's
yeah.
it.
Like a
it's
The first, not the first boss, but the first major boss, I think Tiamat. Tiamat.
Yeah,
I
Kevin
wanted
was
to-
dumb on that.
okay. So
That
here,
was not.
here was my issue with that. I thought you had
The
to
one
hit a
with the
button to
heart.
lock on. You don't. You just had to
One where
scroll
you
over
rip
it.
Right.
And I'm trying to
Well, you
lock
do.
on. Yeah, but I'm trying to
Scroll
lock
over
on
and
to this part.
Don't
I'm trying to
use
think I
it
can
with the
lock
hammer.
on
Big
anywhere.
fat thing.
And
Okay,
it wouldn't let me lock on. I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I gonna break the game like Adam did?
Like, that's the heart you need.
I just
Oh,
found
yeah,
it
you know,
really
the
hard.
first part you
though.
were
She
Yeah.
was stupid hard.
No, she
Like,
wasn't.
I thought it was like
For some reason, I didn't understand why it wasn't locking on to the
You
thing
just-
I'm throwing.
I know when we're getting on the ground, but
shoot
after
boomerang 3 times and then he hit her a bunch.
It didn't work. For some reason, it wasn't working for a while. That was the
I
hardest
don't-
boss, though.
that was the hardest boss for me.
Nah.
What was the
Close.
what was the hardest boss for
It
you
took
then?
Elevator.
It took-
I'm just picturing an elevator with a health meter now.
That's a character.
Right.
Dark
Yeah.
Side, Dark Side.
Well, so I got on THQ because whenever we went to like when we had a conference with them, their presentations they did every cheesy licensing that they can ever get their hands on. They did SpongeBob. They had this drawing tablet. That
The
failed,
U-Draw,
the
man.
U-Draw that just
The
failed.
thing to think that bankrupt them?
Yeah. That's exactly what did.
The $100 million
No, that's what it was?
investment.
That
It was.
really bankrupt
I
THQ.
remember being in so whenever they
Such a bad call.
So at the conferences for managers for GameStop, they'd have these big halls and they'd break everyone up into basically classes and they'd present things to you. And for THQ, they were so excited about this U-Draw thing. And every year they're like, this is what's going to put us on the map. They always had they knew what they were doing. They'd talk about all their other stuff. Well, they were so excited about U-Draw, and everyone's looking at it I don't really know what to do with this, and they'd demonstrate it.
Do you remember
They-
the Drossum though?
It's a child's toy.
But that they thought they were like going to be like Skylanders before Skylanders came out, like bridging that
It was
gap.
more like the Sega Pico, if you remember that.
Which did not do well.
Yeah.
No, it did not.
Which should have been a reminder.
Those remind me of those like learning tablets before tablets.
It was
were
a Pico.
big, like
It was a Pico.
That's
It just-
yeah.
And you know what? Someone probably already did it.
I'm not gonna lie, they probably. I would like to play Darksiders with the Steel Battalion.
I'd like to take that controller and like mod a game to
You
actually
can play Smash
be a
Brothers
fun
with it.
game with it. No, like another mech game, like what it should have been.
No,
like a
Smash,
fast-paced
Smash
game.
Brothers works. You can play
Rob.
Gundam Extreme.
That would make
It's in
sense.
Japan only, and it's like a Gundam fighting game behind
Oh,
the
I
back.
saw
yeah,
that.
it was.
It's
It's
awesome.
an
They have
arcade-
arcade machines for it.
It's an
too.
For
arcade
which-
game.
for
isn't
which
it?
system?
It's
Well,
like
but they already
Steel
have it on
Battalion.
the PS3. You can import it over.
Oh shit!
I
But
mean-
but didn't it start? It's like an arcade.
Yeah,
system, like
it's an
that,
arcade
like Steel
series.
Battalion.
Yeah, it literally has similar controls to that. So
Yeah.
if you were to do that, that would make perfect sense.
I want to live in Japan because they have Left 4 Dead arcade machines.
They're kind of
cool.
bad,
Well,
but
arcades
yeah.
still.
They have a lot of
Come on.
them. They have a Half-Life 2 arcade machines.
Arcades are still
But
a thing, though.
They have
Yeah.
arcade machines
Left
there.
4 Left 4
They still
Dead.
make them.
Left 4
Yeah,
Dead 2
like
arcade
you-
machine? Come on, you can't tell me you don't want to put just like a
Like
dollar
their
or
video
something
games
like that.
still are arcades before they become games.
Yeah, they are. All the time.
This
Back
is
to
the
Darksiders.
closest thing you get to an arcade.
Well,
Yeah. Nowadays, yeah.
And it's kind of shitty in comparison.
A little
And
bit.
you've also paid for most of it.
I didn't pay for any of those.
No,
Oh,
they're all-
Really?
They're all staying from.
I got paid
Okay.
to get rid of those.
Okay, I'm sorry. I want to say, back on THQ, I'm so sad.
No, that's good. We gotta get back there.
I'm
But
sorry.
they-
And then one step after that, we'll be back. to
I don't give a damn about your elevators. Get wrecked, kid. But
No, it's tragic. What happened?
you know what? That's like a 1 in
No,
a
but
million chance.
no,
that's
but
like a 1 in a
No,
million.
that was a common problem. I looked
That
at.
is
Yeah,
actually-
no, I looked it up online. that was a pretty
Wait,
common
super
problem.
common. That's why I was
Really?
afraid when I
A
got
lot of
there.
people clip through the
No, man,
elevators.
Getting
that-
destroyed by the
Yeah, I'm
multiple
afraid. I was-
elevators.
That's
I was
normally
looking
me
out.
when it comes to a game. Like I'm normally at the end of a game with one save file, and somehow it'll end up getting like.
Well, that's why I
trapped.
started double
At
saving.
first, I thought it was just me, so I went to look it up to see if anyone had it. And I found out people had been clipping through a lot of different elevators, and for people who are completionists, there's an item at the top of an elevator you don't have to go to, and that elevator you can clip through and go to the bottom. And you can leave, but the item at the top is never obtainable. So you can never 100% the
that
game.
might be
Wow.
And I
worse.
think it was like a chunk of armor that you needed too,
That
so you couldn't
sounds
get all
like
the armor.
I'm happy that like I am still a completion.
Worm. I hated the worm fight.
Yeah,
Why?
but
I didn't hate. Well, I shouldn't say I
Did
hated
you
the worm.
not
I
know
hated-
you're supposed to
I
punch
hate,
it first?
no. I hated everything leading up to the worm fight. 'Cause I was ready
that
to
was a
get-
huge filler section of the game.
that-
with
there
the
was-
You got
guns.
your horse.
I hated the gun parts.
The gun parts where you
when
just
told
like
me about
going
the
down.
gun parts. I'm
The
like,
gun
what
parts
the-
were dumb. You don't actually have to do those. You can run past.
Yeah, the gun.
Well,
You
I
guys-
I ran past.
You guys are
I
gonna
tried
be,
twice, died, and I'm like, nah.
You
You
guys
all
are gonna
guys?
be no. You guys are gonna be real mad at me, or like no. Are you guys gonna really like be sad if what I tell you which boss hurt me the most? It was the hammer.
The one you don't have to beat?
The one you just have to live pretty much.
Yeah, you just
I
gotta
died
run
12 times.
Oh,
Because,
what part is that?
Did you think you had to, like, beat him?
yeah, I thought I had to beat him, so I tried my exact hardest.
That,
and I
that
kept
wasn't
on
even
fighting.
a boss.
I know
You
it wasn't a
just
boss,
went
but I
into
still
it.
died a
The
whole
guys with
bunch.
the hammers.
Oh yeah.
No.
After
No,
the guy
the
who
hammer.
is the hammer.
Oh,
The hammer.
Yeah.
He's not hard, you just... Don't
move.
get hit.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
Don't get hit. I got hit every time, and I got.
Well, if you run at him,
There's
you're
there's
good.
another
infinity.
part where
I always thought I had to like kill his ass. And
Yeah,
I was
any
just,
situation where you had to
Nope.
use guns was stupid.
the part that defined Patty was when you were stuck in those arenas and you had these little challenges.
Yeah.
It was like you can only kill him using this move. I'm like, can I just?
Yeah,
do
I
this?
mean, that was
at
early-
first, I'm like, okay, yeah, changing it up a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's like,
At first it was like, okay, but then they did it like over and over.
Yeah,
and
I was
like, cut
like,
the shit.
like one or two, I'd be like, okay, I get what you're trying to do here, and I was like, why do I only have to kill him while touching my nipples? I don't want to do that. Like, I can just kill him.
Like, there's one, I accidentally mashed through it, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So, I just started doing random ass
I
shit
did
for
that- I
like
did
3.5
that.
minutes
I did
until I
that.
figured it out.
I had to pause it and go back in and like read the thing.
Nope, I just figured it out after trying for a while.
No, I was dumb.
Well, I don't know, it was definitely like a had its flaws, but I think that it
It's so great.
definitely.
I love that.
Well,
game.
it definitely played to like it was a classic video game. Like it
I
covered
never
like
played
it,
again.
it almost feels like somebody went through a video game checklist.
Well, they
And,
did.
like,
They were
The
like-
elevator's
They were
checked.
like, what's popular? They were like, Zelda's popular, God of War's popular. That's
we need
pretty cool.
puzzles.
Portal is popular.
Yeah, they're like,
Apparently,
Portal was
that's at
popular.
the end of the game.
I
too.
got
Portal
really
doesn't just
pissed.
come out.
Okay, I sent Kevin a message, I'm like,
somehow.
I sent him a message, I went, fucking Portal guns. He's like,
So-
what? I'm like, Portal
See,
gun!
he got to the
We're playing Portal!
We got to the same part, I think, almost at the same. Or no, you got there a little ahead of me. but when you've played Portal, right?
Mhm.
So you know in Portal when you shoot a portal, that's
can't
it.
shoot
It's solid
through a
portal.
portal.
You can't shoot through a portal. When
And
in Darksiders,
Yes,
my
you can.
response
So-
was,
so
I
when the-
can't shoot through portals.
yeah. So when the towers were spinning, right? I'm thinking I have to like precisely aim this shot to get
Yeah.
out of the other thing. I was like, there's no fucking way I can do
You're not
that.
gonna
I literally
Hold on.
looked at that and then I'm like, no. So I just walked up to the portal and
then-
shot it. I'm like,
But then I shot the portal.
What?
But I shot the portal because they were facing each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing changed. So I'm like, all right, nothing changed. So I shot
Right,
it.
yeah.
I just
As it
walked
was
through it.
spinning, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding
That
me.
part.
I just walked through it by mistake and I'm like, oh, okay.
That
Worked out.
thing. And now that I'm going to go play Portal like in a couple days,
That-
I'm gonna be like,
I like Portal.
I
Play
got
Portal.
it.
Yeah, you can actually shoot one portal through another. Well,
Not easily.
In Portal? You have to go halfway through a portal, shoot a portal,
Yeah, you
and
have to
jump
go
back
through
through.
it.
yeah, I said when I said well, it was like you actually have to be.
Yeah, you have to
pretty,
be-
actually be halfway
pretty,
through the
But I
portal.
tried
pretty
doing
good at the
see,
game to actually do it.
It's
I
good
can
you
do
bring
it
that up though, because
consistently.
I tried doing that, but once you get in the portal, you were just shot out. Like, you know.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
I don't like the
immediate.
momentum thing at going with that.
I did in some parts,
No.
not towards the end.
That
Speedy
was
thing
so-
goes in,
those-
speedy thing comes out. Not you walk in and it
Another
shoots you out because you
horrible-
held it down.
Horrible padding section was the Tower Guardians or whatever.
That was easy.
It was easy, but it's just like, why are there 3 of these?
And you know what made it worse? They were just slightly different in how to beat them.
Well,
And
one,
one-
yeah, they covered, and then at the end it's like, oh yeah, these are covered, but there's some portals.
There's
on the wall
only
you can
2
use.
that aren't covered, and then the thing is, like, you don't even have to. I thought you would have to like wait till they like do their thing, and they're like, oh, this is my chance to jump on them. You can just jump on them.
You can just
anytime.
jump right up, yeah. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid.
like
me.
you
I
just
waited for
immediately
that.
start the
So-
fight, portal
I
on
get
the
it,
wall,
I
and
asked
jump
you.
on. You can
How
just
about that
sit on his
spider?
head if
You
you
know, the one
wanted
that
to.
you have to kick that like mine
See,
cart or
okay,
whatever
that
at
I
them.
I actually had to look up how to beat that.
What?
The spider. I was like, she's
Spider?
like sucking in stuff.
No, you shoot crap at her.
Yeah, well, she was eating something when you started. I didn't realize that. I was like, okay, how do
Yeah.
I do this? And then I had to look up like, oh, well that makes
Well, I
sense.
figured you
And then once I
used
figured
the
that out, it was like
grapple
stupid
that
easy.
you just got.
Yeah.
For me, it was I had to murder all of her little minions, then kick whatever the hell I had to kick into her, and she's like.
I skipped the minions. I just kicked her.
Yeah,
No.
no, you can ignore the minions. Work while you.
Really?
See, if you play the Zelda game, not to say like, hey,
You don't.
Zelda's great, but
You
it
don't.
is.
You don't bother with the minions.
Yeah, you ignore everything except what you have to
And that's
do.
who's about to kill
Because
you.
the
It
only
was
thing,
kind of annoying.
because the only things I've learned it from Zelda is that the only time there are little enemies in a boss room is to give you like health or items that you need
Or
to beat
distract
the
you.
boss. So they're rarely to distract you in the Zelda game.
I know.
Like, rarely.
Zelda, they're not to shut
If like you're fighting a boss and you're
It's
out
health.
of arrows, anything
health.
like
Well, let's get back to
arrows,
Darksiders.
bombs, yeah, kind of. But like you needed it, so they gave you enemies that conveniently drop these bombs.
All
you know.
games have that though.
But this was like,
Yeah.
this game was a straight Zelda clone. Let's be real.
I mean, it,
Zelda and
it
God
was
of
a
War.
clone of a lot of stuff. but
Zelda
it wasn't
and
a
God
clone.
of War.
Yeah, it wasn't a clone of a single thing. I think they just literally.
God of War, Zelda, Metroid.
All right, fair enough. But
Would not play
Metroid
again.
of War,
no,
Hero of
I
Time.
wouldn't play it again. But I'm happy that I'm happy that it was part of this because I would have never finished it on my own.
I bought it on the
I
sole
bought
purpose
it.
of going, maybe I'll play this.
Pretty
And
much-
Armageddon Blade, I was like, fuck this.
The Armageddon Blade was not necessary.
That killed it for
I
me.
got
They could have just said go one place and reforge the
So-
blade, or here's the blade, you're done, go fight the
Before I
boss.
got it, I was like right before that. Kevin texted me like, "Oh, make sure and go get the Armageddon blade." I don't really know what you meant by that text, but I thought it was
I
optional.
mean, get a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a guide.
I thought it was optional. Like,
No.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no, just more padding.
Yeah,
You've got
that's
like
why I was like,
reassemble this sword that is in like 9 pieces.
because I got to the choking grounds or whatever it is where I couldn't climb this building to let me get the last piece.
So here's the World of Warcraft armor you get if you find all the pieces. I'll pass.
You look like war.
And each piece
Oh,
of
yeah,
armor
yeah.
gives you
That was the
a
armor I
stat
started
boost,
the
doesn't
game
it?
with.
Oh, look,
Screw you. Look, that's what you
That's
have.
the shit. It makes you almost damn near
I was about to say,
invincible.
each one gives you a
No,
boost to a
it-
different item or something like that, doesn't it?
No, every time you kill somebody or do damage, you get health back.
Oh, okay, yes. What's the
Plus, you just take a ton of damage with it
Oh
too.
yeah.
Well, I just used the stone skin for that, and I didn't have any problem.
Yeah, so that's how I started the game.
Stone
Or,
skin.
you know,
I never used that. Not
Stone
even
skin was
once,
the
I don't
only
think.
item you needed. It
Wow.
increased your damage, it increased your defense.
I wish
you
I knew
went
that. I
you
didn't
went for
fucking use it
defense
once.
when I went
Defense
for
I
is
used
attack.
the
I went for
sword
attack.
I think
visor
it's
a
garbage.
lot. The
No,
I leveled that up
you
like
murder
level 5.
everything.
Because there were so many other moves that did full like area attacks, just like that, without
the
wasting your
square,
chaos
the
meter.
square and X move. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was on PC, but the square and X move.
Well, I was
you get
using
in
an
there and
Xbox
just
controller.
and just throw. All right, so,
So
X and A.
You did it on PS3. I did it on PS3. You did it on PC.
With an Xbox
PS3.
controller.
Dan and I were on PS3.
Wow, no one played on Xbox.
I
Oh,
got
that's
yeah.
um.
well,
it was,
I
it
had
was cheaper on
the
PS3.
Well,
Remember.
haven't played
I'll
in a
learn
long
when I
time.
get to 3. Should we wrap up Darksiders?
Probably.
All right, let's
A little
roll
bit.
Jumping into that.
Well-
7.4.
I'm gonna 7 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6.5. Felt
Mac.
like too much to...
Mac.
Rating on game, go.
All right.
6 out of 9.
Mac, what's your real rating?
6 out of 9.
It has to be out of 10.
6. What do you mean out of 10? I already gave you my out of.
Is it 6.9 out of 10? Don't you think, fellas?
6 out of 9. 6 out of 9.